Yo, what the fuck is up? It's your boy, the motherfucking UNJ. You're not Justin. First and foremost, I just like to say that, you know, I'm trying my goddamn diddly darndest to really just put out great videos for you guys where I'm reading all your comments and shit. Today was the first day. I just got back from Las Vegas again. I was there for 5 days, and I was genuinely excited to get back so that way I could continue doing these videos for you guys and we could do this more consistently. And guess what? I'm gonna do the video, but the gameplay footage, I was actually excited to get that too. NVIDIA GeForce decided that it would update, and then on top of that, it decided that it would uninstall itself so I would be forced to update it. I already really don't like updates as it is because most of the time people are just stripping away shit from their product as opposed to adding stuff to it. So updates are kind of on my shit list. So today you're gonna have to enjoy Sin's gameplay. I'm sorry, it makes me look like a lazy piece of shit, but you know, who cares about how I look? GeForce sure doesn't. All they care about is forcing an update on you. An update where you have to make an account in order to use GeForce, and then on top of that, you have to verify the email with it, and when you go to verify the email, it doesn't fucking send you the email because it just found it unnecessary. So they basically updated it so you couldn't use it. Good job, you did it. Today I'm going to be reading more of your stories, and surprisingly enough, in the last video, when I had said that thing about pineapple on pizza, a lot of people actually really fucking like pineapple on pizza, and it made me realize that I just live with a bunch of people who like to fucking give me shit for liking pineapple on my pizza. To all you people out there that like pineapple on your pizza, fuck yeah, go you. Ethan, unpronounceable last name, says, I need some advice. I'm lonely and nobody likes me. Well, get in line, buddy. Me too. Nah, but seriously, I'm not really gonna pick apart too much of this one because it's such a simple answer, and basically, being lonely is such a good thing. You have no idea how powerful that skill is. If you think being lonely is bad, just imagine how bad it is for, I don't know how old you are, but imagine you from like the age of 12 all the way up to like, you know, 20 years old. You've had a girlfriend or you've had some kind of best friend that was there with you at the hip like every single second of your entire fucking life up until that point. Imagine being that person who was constantly around people, and then imagine you end up alone. I don't know if it's clicked with you, but it always clicks with me when I think about it. So honestly, I'd say that for a majority of my life, actually, I don't know, maybe like it's been half and half. I've spent half of my life always having somebody around, and the other half I've spent being alone. And it just so happens that right now I'm in that point in my life where I don't really have a whole lot of people. Most of the time I'm alone.
Oh, what a fucking loser. No friends much.
That's what somebody who's 12 would say. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear it? I can hear it. Hopefully you guys can hear it in the background, but there's somebody who's like using a table saw or some shit because it's absolutely necessary to use their table saw right now at the time that I'm making this video. All right, it sounds like they stopped. Anyways, that half of my life where I always had somebody, that was really fun and great stuff. A lot of people would think that being alone is fucking awful, and really it's not that bad because if you can learn how to be alone and how to function in public alone, you've probably beaten half of life's challenges right there in and of itself. Since my situation is the way that it is, I know how to be alone in public. I can go out, get food, I can fucking do whatever in public without feeling weird about it. And at the same time, when I do get to enjoy somebody's company, I know exactly how to enjoy it. Seriously though, there are people who have been around people their entire life, and they fucking panic when they're all alone in public. They don't even know how to fucking order food by themselves because they've always been around somebody. Take something that you think is shitty and turn it into something that's great. Hydro wants us to know, this one time I mistook a dead cockroach for some chocolate. That's pretty goddamn gross. That's actually really gross. That's like incredibly gross. You ate a cockroach. Assumably, of course. If it makes you feel any better, one time when my dad was like 13 years old, he was drinking a bottle of Big Red. A lot of you kids out there probably don't even know what Big Red is. He took a big old swig, and then he felt a chew in his mouth, and he didn't really think much of it until he looked back at the bottle and saw half of a cockroach inside of it. Fucking gains, bro. I once couldn't sleep. It was about 1 a.m. and I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom and I saw my parents naked. Were they hot? And why the hell were your parents both naked in the bathroom? Don't they have like a fucking bed or something? This just doesn't add up. Professor Potato ate a plastic Kinder Egg once and chalked. Well, that's why they keep it out of the reach from children, little guy. I once fucked a woman my older brother had a night with. She told me about it. I did not know. I did not care. Not that I couldn't. Long story short, should I have anything to say about it? I mean, siblings get to share toys, so what the hell? It's pretty fucking gross. Maybe. I don't know if it's gross or not, but I think it's kind of gross. Okay, to begin this conversation, I don't have a brother, so I truly just wouldn't understand the position that you're in, or the position that she was in, if you know what I'm saying. But personally, this is just me. But all the hoes that I like to get with, I've never been with one that has been with somebody that I even know. And that's just preference, I guess. And honestly, it would kind of weird me out and it would kind of make me feel gross. And I'm not even talking about somebody who's related to me right now. I'm just talking about somebody that I know in real life. And I don't know, this situation's just fucked, man. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. I don't have an answer for this. It seems like every day these stories that I'm getting sent are just getting more and more fucked. Fucked like that girl by those two brothers. Yep, I sure do have a voice. It's me, the real one. Sarah Ings says,
My name Yev.
I'm going through the comments right now, and I try to go through all of them and read all of them, even if they're not all actually used in the video. And I just read a lot of serious ones about stuff that's kind of touchy. It's about stuff that's very, very touchy that people will fucking complain about because it's the internet. To any of you people out there who left comments asking for really serious advice, I want to do it and I want to bring it up in a video, but I'm afraid to because I don't want you to get hate and I don't want there to be some fucking retarded war in the comment section over some bullshit that doesn't even really matter that much. And to everybody out there, do you guys think that you would be okay if I brought up more serious stuff from the comment section? Let me know what you think. And for now, to the people who did leave serious stories about real problems that they have, just know that I am reading it and I'm with you. You'll get through it. Tommy says, so one of my friends who I already know smokes weed from now to then told me he sometimes does ecstasy and jokingly said afterwards he wants to try cocaine. I'm not sure what to think of it and I don't know if he was being entirely serious, but I'm curious what UNJ thinks of this. He's 16, by the way. We live in a day and age where parents don't do a fucking thing when their kids fuck up. That's just the way that it is. Fucking straight out the womb, it seems like parents are handing their kids iPads and thinking that, oh, the internet's a nice, safe place. You know, they can do whatever on there. And then by the time that they're 16 years old, they're not going to be really fucked up. I don't have to do anything. I'll let the iPad parent them. I'm 21 years old, and I've seen and done my fair share of fucked up shit. And I've lived to not be sober, and I've also lived as somebody who's sober, so I have a perspective on both ways of life. And you want the honest truth? Only fucking idiots do drugs and shit like that. Here's some facts for you. Everybody that I know from way back in the day, the ones who smoked weed, like to party all the time, the ones who are still partying till this day, they make a whopping minimum wage and a whopping burger. And me as somebody, I don't do any of that shit. I don't make a whopping minimum wage. Maybe it's because my head is a little bit more clear. Maybe it's because I have more time than they do. In high school, I knew this kid. He liked to smoke weed, he liked to drink, he did all this shit, and it got to a point for him where it just wasn't enough, I guess. I mean, I don't know how these fucking people think. I'm not a fucking idiot, and I really can't even put myself in their position. But this friend that I had, he wanted to get more high. And I don't live in a really good town. Actually, I live in a shithole of a town, and we have a rampant methamphetamine problem. So it's pretty easy to get your hands on some grade A, high quality, shattered, Breaking Bad shit. And this guy, he got his hands on crystal meth. This guy that I knew in high school, and this is a real quote from him, but he straight up said, oh, I'm only gonna do it once. And this is 5 years ago, and till this day, that fucking loser is still addicted to meth. So apply that to your friend. Your friend just wants to try cocaine, but he's not gonna just try it. Nobody just tries something. People do it with the anticipation of wanting to experience that feeling, and then depending on how much they do or don't like that feeling, they're gonna fucking do it again. And with drugs, that's not even really the case, because drugs like cocaine, meth, tobacco, alcohol, they get you addicted to it. It's something that you don't acquire a problem for, you don't acquire a bad habit, you acquire an addiction. And then you have to feel like you gotta keep doing it. I am the stepdad of the fucking internet. Do you hear that? I'm literally the stepdad that the internet needs. Anyways, son, honestly, if I were you and I were in your position, I would just straight up say, hey, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you want to do cocaine, you goddamn moron? And then see whatever he has to say to that. He's gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna do it once or whatever. He's gonna bullshit you. And depending on whatever happens, if he does do cocaine, he'll probably get a problem or an addiction. I just say, fuck it and just cut him off. You really don't need him. Think about it. How much do you need that person? The worst part is that you may really like this person. He might be one of your best friends ever. But when he does do cocaine, or if he does do cocaine and he gets addicted to it, all of a sudden, his problems are going to become your problems. He's going to know that he can trust you and confide in you to go to you whenever he might need money or fucking moral support. And you don't fucking need that, dude. You're fucking young. Why should some asshole's problems be yours because he thinks cocaine smells good? But yeah, draw a fine line, let him know what's up, and you yourself, you should stay clean, honestly. I don't really want to get too deep with this. I don't want to be quoted on any of this shit, but pretty much I think what's good for young people is if they want to experience it, then you should go to an adult or something like that, or somebody that you trust who's older, much older, who might have experienced it in the past, and you should get their perspective on it. And like, make sure that this adult is like responsible. Like, don't go to a fucking homeless person or some shit like that, because they're gonna be like, oh, I love cocaine, it smells wonderful. In a perfect world, I can tell you to just avoid it and not do it at all costs, because it works for me. But we live in a world full of wants and desires, and I already know that somebody disagrees with me in the comment section. As opposed to just telling people or bitching at people about what they should and shouldn't do, I try to live and set an example for everybody. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. And obviously it's gotten me this far. I get to make YouTube videos on this channel and on my channel, which are both going really fucking great. I'm happy, I'm healthy, and you guys have seen firsthand that I fucking will laugh and make a joke out of almost everything, especially on my channel. And that's without having to be high. Like, I'm naturally just some weird asshole who thinks really stupid things are funny. I'm just living my life and having a great time. And that's just the example that I like to set for people. I've experienced being sober, and I've experienced being under the influence, and I figured out what works for me, and that's the inspiration that I want to give to you. Honestly, I genuinely believe that you should just avoid it at all costs, because it's not good for you in the first place. It might feel good, but it doesn't make it good for you. It's not really supposed to be in your body anyways. There are people who can manage it pretty well. Without trying to sound like an elitist asshole, I would just say to avoid it. And if you have any reason to avoid doing drugs and getting high, let it be my example as a sober person who's been high in the past and likes to live his life sober now. God, I am legitimately like a fucking internet stepdad to all of you. Like, seriously, do the comparisons right now. A stepdad in real life is an asshole. A stepdad makes really cheesy jokes that are like really funny when you look back at them. A stepdad will try to give you advice about all sorts of shit, all because I want to make your mothers happy by making you happy. But that's gonna be doing it today. I know a lot of people want to see me actually play TF2, and that's cool. And I'm kind of planning this thing that I'm gonna be trying to do. No promises, but it's gonna be different from me just having nice conversations with you guys. And it's gonna be a meeting between the stuff that I put on this channel and the stuff that Sin puts on this channel, and hopefully it'll be a good time if I can make this whole thing happen. Anywho, today we had some wonderful conversations. We talked about doing drugs, which was the main point of this video. We talked about eating cockroaches. We had a few words about why being alone is a really great skill to have. I confessed my love for pineapple pizza. Overall, we had a really good conversation today. We got the dogs barking right now. Hopefully you can hear it in the background, but as always, I'm Justin and you're motherfucking not. Click the videos on the screen, like this video, free hats, free unusuals. Doctors will hate you.